Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And Wednesday, update 13.11 was released, which of course brought us our next dockyard ship, the Niord. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the dockyard, the way that the dockyard works is that every now and then Wargaming will put a ship in a dockyard event. You can acquire the ship by grinding through the dockyard via the Dockyard Combat Missions. And the idea is that you'll get this, tier 8, tier 9, sometimes tier 10 premium ship at a bit of a huge discount because by grinding through the missions, you are, getting these dockyard coins, which you can then exchange for phases in the dockyard, the ship's being built, and at the end of the dockyard event, ideally you'll have this premium ship for quite a healthy discount with all of the rewards that you receive in the dockyard along the way. The Niord, for the example, if you grind your way through all the dockyard missions and buy the only 2 required phases, you will have paid somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 to $24, depending upon if you bought the starter packs or not, for a tier 9 premium ship, a tier 5 premium ship that is I think the reward for the 8th stage of the dockyard, and a bunch of other goodies along the way, coal, steel, economic bonuses and such, all by just playing the game and paying $20 for the ship. Now keep in mind, you get the rewards whether or not you finish the dockyard or not. So it doesn't matter if you finish the Niord, you still get the Kalmar, you still get the bonuses, the coal, the steel, you get all of that whether or not you pay for the ship at the end. And keep in mind, you're paying $20 for a tier 9 premium ship in this dockyard, which normally costs in the neighborhood of $80. So, of course, a huge part of this dockyard, any dockyard, is the combat missions. So the combat missions are, of course, the performances you have to do in game in order to finish these missions, get the dockyard tokens, and then get the stages of the dockyard. The way they work, there are quote-unquote required missions where you get a dockyard stage out of it. Other ones, you can accumulate a number of tasks in order to get a stage. So like the first stage, I've already got 5 out of the 6 tasks done because the first stage is fairly easy. So in the first stage, it's a bunch of very simple tasks, and there's one that is labeled caused 400,000 HP of damage to ships. I did that one very easily, and I got my stage. However, there are other tasks which give other rewards along the way. They are very simple things. Win 2 battles, get 6 destroyed ribbons, earn 34,000 XP. Very easy to do in just really a few, not even a few afternoons, like an afternoon of playing the game. So you have to do 5 of those missions in order to get the final reward for the first set of missions, which is another stage of the dockyard. Now, as you progress through the stages of missions, they increase in difficulty with each stage, to where by the time you get to the last stage, it's fairly difficult. And this has been a standard practice throughout the dockyards ever since their conception. I should say ever since they reworked them after the Puerto Rico disaster. So, obviously, the final stages are pretty difficult. Now, they're not impossibly hard, in my opinion. They are definitely challenging, but they are entirely doable, as I said in yesterday's video, which caused quite a number of comments to be made on that video. Now, not only there, but also in like the subreddit, Discord, and such. Many a player were complaining that the 2 required missions in the final set of missions are quite challenging and impossible in some cases to do in a reasonable amount of time. So the thing is, the combat missions are also time gated. They only unlock after a certain amount of time has passed. So for example, the second stage of missions won't be available for another 5 days once this video goes up. So even though you might be able to get done with the first stage relatively quickly, you won't be able to get to the second stage until, again, 5 more days has passed. So in the case of the last set of missions, they won't be available for another 1 month and 16 days at the time of this video releasing. which gives you 14 days to actually get the missions done, because the missions disappear after 60 days at the time of release. So you have 2 weeks to get all of your stages that you need out of the last set of missions. So because of that, again, some concerns have been raised. So the two missions everyone is talking about that I've seen so far are the Earn 99,000 base XP mission and the Earn 30 million credits mission. Now, again, keep in mind, you have 2 weeks to do this. And in yesterday's video, I said, it's not too hard, not too crazy. I still don't think they're too hard and too crazy. Are they challenging? Yes. Are they doable? Also, yes, in my opinion. I'll tell you why here. So, 99,000 base XP, okay? Base XP, it's base XP. You can't add any modifiers to it. You can't, that's it right there, right? You can't add any modifiers to it, so all your economic bonuses and such, that does not affect how much you get in this mission. Only what you earn in-game base. So 99,000 base XP, that's a lot of XP. You have 2 weeks to do this. If you do the math, if you're earning about 1,500 base XP per match, that's about 66 games and change. Why do I choose 1,500 base XP? Well, when you earn about 2,300 base XP in higher tier games, so I'm talking like tier 8 plus, that's a really good game. As long as you contribute in some meaningful way in most, again, higher tier games, most cases, not every case, if you contribute in some meaningful way, you'll be getting around 900, 1,000 base XP per round. Again, in most cases at higher tier. Why am I saying at higher tier? Because 80% of the player base plays at like tier 8 and above, or like 70%. The vast majority of the player base plays at tier 8 and above. That's why we have so many tier 8 premium ships and such, from there on up, so forth and so on. So as long as you do something meaningful, you'll be earning around 1,000 base XP, so 1,500 somewhere in the middle. You can adjust it as you see fit to figure out how many battles you think you'll need. So doing that, again, 66 games over 2 weeks. Sounds like a lot. Well, if you divide that out, it's about 5 games a day. And 5 games a day, depending upon how long your matches are going, I don't know what you guys are experiencing, but if my game goes for like 13, 14 minutes, that's pretty nice. Usually my matches that I'm experiencing over here on the North American server, 8, 9, 10 minutes, right? So again, games can only last for 20 minutes, so you want to take the average, let's say 12 minutes. So 5 games a day, 12 minutes a game, that's maybe an hour a day playing in order to complete this mission over... admittedly, you got to play an hour a day every day over 14 days, so, yeah, that is a bit of time invested into the game, but you're playing the game already, aren't you? Like, I imagine most people play for about an hour a day, even if they're a casual gamer. Admittedly, there are probably some that just hop on for a match or two, and that's completely fair. And yeah, you will have to play more in order to get this mission done, but it is doable. Now, granted, that is for random battles. A lot of the concerns have been raised by players that mainly play co-op and operations. I understand, those modes do reward less, but that's how the in-game economy works. And something else I said in yesterday's video is that, we have the Star Trek operation and we have asymmetric battles. Turns out those two won't be available for this event, so you're really just down to random battles, operation, ranked, and clan battles, brawls, and co-op. So, yeah, you might have to leave your co-op matches and your operations to get it done, but it is doable in my opinion. Now, some comments are also saying, well, you're this professional YouTuber and stuff. Look, I'm not that great of a player. I've never claimed to be like a professional World of Warships player, whatever, however you want to call it. I'm not a super unicom. My stats are slightly above average. If you look at them, I have like a 55% win rate, if that, maybe 54 and change at this point, because some of the matches I've been having here recently, but I'm not a pro, and I don't have dozens of hours to dump on this game every single day, right? Like I get home, I make the video. That's maybe like an hour, 2 hours of playing, if that. More time spent editing and stuff, right? So I'm not spending a crazy amount of time playing this game every day. Maybe now during like when I have off for Thanksgiving and I have off for Christmas and stuff, yeah, I'm playing more, but I'm still not sitting at this computer all day for 12 hours playing World of Warships. I don't know what human being can undergo such such treatment, right? But it is very much doable in my opinion. Yeah, you got to spend time doing it, but it's doable. Even if you only get like 1,000 base XP, yeah, it might be like 70, 80 games, but it's still doable. And keep in mind too, it's not like you only earn 1,000 base XP every game. We all have those matches where we suddenly become, a god at the game, and we get that 2,500 base XP game or that 2,200 base XP game. So, you're going to have some of those. Keep this in mind too. I probably should have led with this before I got into that section. You still have to complete 4 more missions besides this 99,000 base XP mission and 30 million credits. Oh, by the way, 30 million credits, it's not base credits, it is 30 million credits. So you can use your economic bonuses to speed that up. And keep in mind, the Dockyard, at this point, when you get to the last set of missions, you will have gotten a fair chunk of economic bonuses that you can use to do this 30 million credits thing. But the 99,000 base XP and the 30 million credits mission go hand in hand with causing 4 million HP of damage to ships in, a class of your choosing. Well, it's actually a little bit different for each class. So, you have to earn 4 million HP of damage in carriers, in battleships, 3 million in cruisers, 2.4 million destroyers, 1.6 million in submarines. So you still have to do these 2 missions, right? Because these are the 2 required ones. And then you got to do 4 of the other missions. So 30 destroyed ribbons, 5,000 ribbons, and then 2 of the damage missions. That's still a lot of playing either way. And there's a very good chance that while you're out there earning, say, 4 million HP in battleships, 5,000 ribbons in battleships, you're probably going to get a good chunk of those 30 million credits and that base XP done doing that, right? So you're doing all this at the same time. You're not doing one mission at a time. So you have to do those other missions anyway. So you're going to get a very large chunk of that done playing through those other missions. And you might be surprised just how much of that you get done doing it. Now, also, if you didn't catch my Niord review yesterday, which I recommend you go watch, it's not that crazy of a ship. Is it a good ship? Yes, it is a very good ship, in my opinion. But it's nothing that I don't think you can't pass up. I would just play the game as you normally do and see where you fall. You might surprise yourself with how far you get along into this last set of missions. And you might very well just be a couple of game sessions away from completing the missions. Keep in mind, too, if you really want this ship and you buy the 2 other missions, well, you're paying 3,000 dubs for a stage, so you have paid 6,000 dubs overall because you'll buy 4 stages if you don't want to do these 2 required missions. That's still 20, so like 40, 50 bucks for a tier 9 premium ship. So you're still getting almost $30 off? Yeah, $30 off of a tier 9 premium ship. That's still like not a bad deal if you want to go that route. Am I saying go that route? No, I'd say go for the missions. Try to grind them out. Get it for free, right? Or get it, for only 20 bucks instead of 40, 50 bucks, right? That's still a really nice discount on a tier 9 premium ship. And keep in mind, all the stuff you got along the way, all the economic bonuses, the coal, the steel, the Calmar, the tier 5 premium ship. Yeah. Also keep in mind too, like on December 1st, the Santa container event is popping off, and you have all of those ships to grind out anyway to get your festive rewards, so you can get your coal and your steel and your Santa containers. So you are very likely going to be playing a decent bit of this game in the coming months anyway, because of the Santa container event. So again, you're doing all this at the same time. Like, you don't just grind the Santa container event, you don't just grind the Dockyard. The game tracks your progress no matter what. So you might be surprised, is what I'm saying, how much you're able to get done, and the coming months in World of Warships. Don't underestimate yourself with what you can do. And if you are, a co-op main or an operations main, hey, maybe it's the time to venture into random battles. I mean, I promise you, you'll be better than a lot of people. I promise you. You might surprise yourself with where you come out on that leaderboard. Because I know some of you co-op mains out there, you guys are insane. You've got like 30,000, 50,000 battles, which is, are you okay? But you might surprise yourself how, fine you might be in random battles. And hey, if people being mean in chat, guess what? You can turn off chat. A lot of people have done that. So what I'm saying is, are they difficult missions? Yes, they're difficult. Is it impossible? Not really. Some were saying that it's going to take like 90 hours to do that. I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration. Again, ideally, if you get 1,500 XP on average per match, 66 games over 2 weeks, 5 games a day, an hour playing the game every day. Again, keep in mind, if you play ranked, if you play clan battles, it still counts during that. So, yeah, no matter what you're doing in the game, just about, it's counting toward this mission. So, is it an unfair thing? Is Wargaming being super disingenuous or super cruel to the player base? I don't think so. It's a tier 9 premium ship. It's an $80 ship normally, so getting it for $20, yeah, they're going to make you play the game, right? If it is that off-putting to you, it's a ship you can completely miss, in my opinion. I wouldn't lose any sleep over not getting the Niord. You don't have to have every ship that comes into the game, so it's an easy pass. Get what you can get for free from the Dockyard and just call it a day, yeah. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Are they challenging missions? Yes. Are they impossible missions? No, not in my humble opinion. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Are you going for it, or are the missions just too off-putting for you here? Let me know all that jazz in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful Friday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.